Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late October 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with a quick oracle card here just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancerians. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Cancer here in late October? And as you can see, you're getting your cards read by Mr. Kyle Ross, aka Bob Ross. We're in the season spirit here. We even have our little woodland creature friend chilling right here helping us out. So let's get it going. What do we got for Cancer here? Please. And yeah, we're going to see what energies, messages, and insights. We're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cancerians in late October. See how the energies are looking for you, my good friends. What is going on? All right, beautiful. Lots of people here for one reason or another. And I always think that whenever this card pops out first, is there's a lot of energies, lots of people. Could be very complex, but I mean, it doesn't have to be too rough of a card. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So as you can see, if you look over here at our little portrait, we have lots of people showing up in this card. We have the man, we have the woman, we have different pictures, there's shadows of different people going around here. So of course I'm getting a lot of different energies. So for some Cancers in this time, maybe you're a little more social than you normally are. Maybe your phone's a little more busy than it usually is when this card shows up. I just think people, people, people. So we could be talking about family, co-workers, groups. It's just a lot happening. Now, if we are not talking about specific individuals, to me, your intuitiveness or your empathy, your energetic sensitivity could be heightened when this card shows up. So a lot of sensory inputs could be affecting that. So just know Cancer is a very sensitive sign to begin with. So when I see this card, it's like, okay, you might want to protect your energy in one way or another. This is also one of the cards that I do link to social media as well. So for some of you, whether it's like websites, social media, stuff like that could be important for one reason or another. When this card shows up front, it's a digital type of feeling, but we're just going to put them down right there. They could chill out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness, see what's happening for the Cancerians. And yeah, let's go. And while we shuffle this up and get it ready to rock, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a little bit rough. If I remember correctly, the reading was titled A Big Problem. Now, it did show up in a couple of different ways for some Cancerians. Maybe there was something that flares back up, like here we go again, like something that you may have dealt with already. Hopefully you haven't had too many problematic things, but I'll tell you this, for all the water signs last week, the energy was looking a little dicey. So we're going to hope for a turnaround this week, all right? We're going to be very optimistic about it. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. So let's get it going. 3 cards for my beautiful Cancer friends. Oh, quick. Knight of Wands. We're starting quick. Okay, another person. Okay. Now, the Knight of Wands is very, very fast out the gate. So having him start off as the first card of the reading, it's like, pew, just like a rocket. Let's get a couple more. Okay, 4 of Pentacles. This is a little bit of resistance here. This could be good for financials. Let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more. Yeah, these energies are kind of opposing. And we have the 5 of Swords here on the back end. So, you know what? I will say this initially, Cancer, from what I'm seeing here already, it's a bit more of a mixed bag. It doesn't feel as problematic as I was seeing last week, but there might be some things to still figure out. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, yeah, I'm still getting the energy of a lot of people here for one reason or another. So we'll see how that shakes out. But elementally, it's a nice little mixture, right? We have fire, we have earth, we have air. Now, yes, these two on the extreme ends can be a little bit volatile. So for some of you, maybe you're like putting some space between you and another person, or you're trying to not let something go wild. That could be a very big possibility. But it's like the energy takes a stutter step. It's like, all right, we're off to a good start, slow down. and you might need to push through in regards to something. I mean, for some of you, this could be various different things, but let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, we're starting here with the Knight of Wands, big fire sign energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius type of vibe. If that's not representing a specific person, remember, knights are all about action. Yes, they could also be messengers, so it could be a communication or a talk of some kind when we see this Knight of Wands. But I think of the realm of making moves, taking action. So for a lot of cancers, you might be very proactive in regards to things in this time where it's like, all right, well, let's get it moving. Let's get it started. I'm not going to sit back and just let something happen. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of motivation with this card that I'm really liking. Now, there are challenges when it comes to the Knight of Wands. It could be very unpredictable. So it could be explosive. It could be a little bit volatile. Now, I'm not saying that's definitely going to be the case here, but there could be certain situations that either come in hot or it's just a little unpredictable. Like, I'm not sure how that's going to go. So we'll want to take a much closer look at this Knight of Wands. Again, I don't think it's a bad energy. It's just coming out the gate real hot. Okay, it's coming out the gate fast. Moving to the center, though, we have the Four of Pentacles, complete total opposite of what we have here on the front end. So we got this guy here. You see him, he's clasped onto that pentacle. This is an energy of holding on. Now, once again, like I said, if we're talking about the generalized energy, this isn't moving. This is like, it's planted, it's stuck, it's not doing much, but I'm going to break it up in a couple different ways because the positives and negatives really are depending on the situation you're dealing with. Now, we're speaking about financials. This is generally a good card of like saving, of investing, of making sure you're doing the right thing and budgeting. This is very conscious when it comes to finances. It's not moving fast, though. That's like the only big vibe, because if we're looking at this in an emotional sense, somebody holding on to something, sometimes in its worst case scenario, it could be a little bit of a grudgy energy too. So there might be someone you're like, I don't know about that person. That could be a vibe here with this Four of Pentacles. In its worst case, it could represent jealousy. It could represent possessiveness. If we're talking about personality traits or emotional situations, it could also just be something that you can't quite let go of just yet for whatever reason. Okay, and again, it doesn't have to be too bad of a thing, but if we look at how the energy flows, it's like boom, we're off like a rocket. Then this Four of Pentacles shows in. It could be a situation or something that you need to overcome. That's for sure. It feels like a little bit of a roadblock. It doesn't feel like a deal breaker. That's one thing I will say. So we'll have to see how all this energy plays out together. Now, moving to the back, we have the Five of Swords. And I do believe I saw this in every single water sign for last week's reading. And it's showing back up for you again. I'll give you the positives and the challenges of it. So the positives with this card, it could just represent determination. Somebody who's doing what's best for themselves. Okay. And I mean, especially with that Four of Pentacles, like getting something right, doing what's best for myself. This is a good type of vibe. There's tons of determination here. Like I will do this. I will see something through. So you see, there's tons of motivation showing up here within this whole entire spread. But the challenge of the Five of Swords, it could be a little nasty. It could be a little aggressive. It could be a little conflict based. So you see what I mean? All of these cards have that energy that could possibly take a turn. Okay. The Five of Swords, worst case scenario, could represent an individual you're connected to that has narcissistic tendencies, very selfish type of energy as well. But we're not fully going to go that route because, as I said, we have a mixture of stuff happening here. Okay, we have a mixture of different colors and palettes going on in this week's spread, and that's okay. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, though, Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here and see what's going on for the Cancerians. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Knight of Wands. What's he doing here? You gonna tell me, Mr. Squirrel Friend, what's happening with that Knight of Wands? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Knight of Wands time. What's this action? Thank you. Wow. All right, fire-air combination. Okay, this is good. This is good, at least at the beginning. So I want to see how the rest of this plays out. The Eight of Swords is usually a trapped type of energy or somebody holding themselves back. So when I see the fire-air combination showing up here, it's like a spark plug. It's something that's starting off real hot. So again, either this is explosive action coming in. So if there's something you've been dealing with, you could see some big leaps and gains in this time very rapidly. I just want to see how the rest of the energy plays off. So let's talk about the card a little bit more. I do feel this explosive action coming in. So for some of you, just keep an eye open. There might be someone that acts a way that they don't normally do. But at the same time, I like the motivation I'm picking up. Now, the Eight of Swords, if it was in the upright, this is a card that's trapped, it's stressed, it's anxious, it's overthinking things. When we see it in reverse, it's liberated, it's free, it's not trapped any longer. And remember, with the combination of energy that we have going on here, I like it. So to me, it's either someone making a move real quick, or maybe this is you. Maybe there's just something where it's like, no, I'm going to do this. There's something I have to do. It's just explosive action coming in out of nowhere. So if you've been dealing with any situations that have been frustrating to you or have seemed like they're not really moving, I could feel like a really quick uptick in the energy here. So let's keep moving. Either that, or it's just someone where they're acting very unbothered. So for some of you, maybe there's a situation where it's like, no, it doesn't bother me anymore. It's like giving me that vibe. But let's see what's up with the Four of Pentacles. I mean, maybe that's how Spirit wants you to be for whatever reason. Act unbothered about something. Just take it however it hits. Let's see why that Four of Pentacles is here, though. Okay. Three of Wands. Okay. This one is a little more measured. Okay, so it depends on the situations you're dealing with, because this one is like, yeah, let's go, let's do this, let's do it yesterday. This one here in the center is like, no, let's slow it down, one step after another. So for some Cancers out there, maybe there's something that you're building up to, or maybe there's something where it's like, I need to go through the process, I need to do this the right way, one foot in front of the next. It's like one step, next step, next step. Which I feel like is a good move. The Three of Wands is a big card of manifesting and creating. Okay, bringing something towards you, and it's like it's almost there, it's right there, it's just within reach. I do like this card, but I do link it similar to the Two of Wands, where it could represent planning and strategy. So I do feel for this center one, it's like, okay, there's a process, there's a certain process that you need to go through. It could be a little meticulous. I mean, it could be a little boring, frankly, for some of you, but I feel like although we have this good explosive action and hot start, there's still a process that needs to be followed. Okay, that's just a vibe. Now, if that's not the case, when I see the Three of Wands and the Four of Cups or the Four of Pentacles together, there is someone that could be in a complete and total opposite energy from you, or these are two opposing energies. Because like I said, this one on the front is like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, let's make it happen. This one in the center is like, no, too fast, slow it down. So it's like that push-pull, that tugging type of energy. Take it for whatever it's worth. Let's keep moving. Let's see what that Five of Swords has to say, because that's the one I've had my eye on since the very beginning. The Five of Swords might be the one that's a little dicey. But let's see why it's here. So why is that Five of Swords here? Okay. I mean, I feel a good result for you here on the back end. So the Nine of Wands in reverse underneath the Five of Swords, I guess it really depends on your situation. If you're dealing with an individual recently that's like very aggressive in their ways, this is somebody like trying to bypass blocks, like getting around something. Now, I do feel for a lot of you overcoming certain obstacles. It's like, boom. All right, here we go. I'm getting like a horse jumping over obstacles. So that's an interesting piece of imagery that I'm picking up here. But when I see the Five of Swords, air, with the Nine of Wands, fire, there's such strong energy around action and movement in this week's reading. So I do like it. It's not stale. It's not stagnant. I have a feeling it's going to be hard to slow it down for whatever reason. Now, the Nine of Wands in reverse is literally overcoming problems, overcoming roadblocks and barriers. So when I see it under this determined card like the Five of Swords, it's like, no, I'm not going to let that stop me. My mind is made up on something. So for a portion of Cancers out there, maybe you have a direction in your mind, in your head, where it's like, no, this is what I have to do, or this is the way I'm going. It's like giving me, my mind is made up and nothing's going to stop me type of energy. So take that for what it's worth. I like the energy. But I mean, then again, I'm a fire sign. My sun is a fire sign, right? Aries sun. So I'm into this. I could vibe with this, but my water placements have me saying like, oh, all right, maybe slow it down here. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card because there's a good mixture of energy here. Lots of fire and air happening all over the place. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Knight of Wands with the Eight of Swords in reverse. Like I said, explosive action, something coming out the gate hot. There's a lot of motivation here. So whether it's an action you're about to take or somebody else, it's like, no, I got to do this now. I should have already did this. It's like giving me that kind of energy. Moving to the center, we have the Four of Pentacles with the Three of Wands. So maybe some of you are waiting on something, but I don't feel like the energy is stagnant. To me, it just feels more like a process. So there could be something that you're going through where it's like one foot in front of the next, like there's a certain way you have to do it. There is a lot of forward movement, though. That's the one thing I like about this week's reading. On to the back end, we have the Five of Swords with the Nine of Wands in reverse. So for some of you, you might have your mind made up on a direction you want to move in. It's overcoming barriers, overcoming obstacles. I feel a good forward movement push. But yeah, this in the front, it's like my mind is made up. Nothing's going to stop me. That's like kind of the energy that this has been giving me. So powerful stuff. That's a good thing. So I guess depending on your situation, there's a lot of malleable type of energy. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. So let's get a good shuffle here for the Cancerians, please. I'm liking the energy better than I liked than last week's, that's for sure. Because even if there are like little roadblocks, I don't feel it's stopping me. But yeah, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. They're the ones that help me pick out the costumes. So let's get it going here. What do we have for the Cancers in the shadows? What's going on here? Thank you. Four of Cups, little daydreamy. So again, this does tie into that little bit of push-pull energy that I've been feeling, and especially in the center of the spread. Now, to me, this is an extremely imaginative, creative card. So for a lot of you, if you're up in your mind, if you got a specific thing that's on your mind, on your brain, this Four of Cups could be spirit saying like, okay, well, maybe don't overthink it. Think about it, plan it, go through your process, but don't overthink it. Okay, like don't just solely focus on one thing. This could be very daydreamy, but as you know, when it comes to manifesting and doing certain things in life, it's a mixture of, yes, visualizing it and knowing what you want, but at the same time, knowing when to take action. And this Four of Cups could sometimes be someone not making the moves for whatever reason. For a portion of you, maybe you do need a little bit of a rest. I always say that, like with this and the Four of Swords, even with the Four of Pentacles, it's an energy that's at rest. So if you've been going a little wild, if things have been a little hot and heavy, maybe you just need a little time for yourself to recuperate. That could definitely be it with this card. But yeah, watch the overthinking. And I think that's the only main thing right here in the shadows. So yeah, Cancer, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar for the month of October at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments, hypothetically, if you had to get a tattoo of a tarot card, which one would you choose and why? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you again soon.